Happy March! Today, we will be going over company announcements and promotions, and Bao will demonstrate and give helpful tips on how to sell our new and featured items. This month, we'd like to give a special congratulations to Customer Service Team Leader Carrie Wolf for joining our sales force. She will be taking over Rich Mobile Hills Territory 1011, and we wish her the best. We also welcome James to our Kansas City territory, and Sean will be leaving his warehouse position to pursue sales in Orlando. Wendy is joining us temporarily in purchasing, and Tasha, Jennifer, and Micaiah have all joined customer service. Be sure to offer your congratulations and introduce yourselves to the new faces on the best team.
Hey, welcome to March. Look at all the good stuff we have here. We have some good plumbing items here, some golden oldies, some new items for the bathrooms, for anywhere, for your tool bag. We got it all this month. Plus, we're going to be kicking off a promotion that'll run through the sales meeting. And so a lot of good stuff coming your way. Stay tuned. Here we go. We're going to talk about these new items. And of course, now we have to mention our annual sales meeting, dinner, awards, extravaganza, once again happening at the Westin BWI, April 3rd and 4th, Friday and Saturday, official meeting times. This year, the meeting is starting earlier than usual. We're starting at 10 a.m. So we'll have breakfast for you. Folks that are driving in, get there early, grab a bite to eat on us, and into the meeting we go at 10 a.m. People who are flying in, you should have received your itinerary already. Most of you are coming in Thursday night. Some of you requested an early morning flight because you like to get up at 3 in the morning. God bless you. So we'll have everybody there on time. The format's a little different. The first day we'll have a presentation in the beginning, then we're going to go to our tables. Saturday, a little different. We'll have some guest speakers. So we're hoping to mix it up a little bit this year, but similar format. Vendors this year we will have. So bring your questions. Please bring your questions. New people, do not be afraid to ask a question. New people are often afraid to ask a question because they think, I don't want to ask this. They probably know the answer. Sometimes veterans don't want to ask that question because they say, why don't I know that by now? So ask the question. Everyone will benefit from it. Ask questions too. Milwaukee, Zurn, TNS, Utility, Midland Metal, Wexler, that's Gauge Company, okay, Jackknob, Partition Hardware, Powers, and a company called Supply Pro, which is going to be a little bit of a different presentation, opening up a massive line of stuff that you can sell. So those are the vendors. Remember, starting a little earlier on April 3rd, that Friday, get most of you on Thursday. If you've not received your itinerary, okay, check your email once more. Shoot me an email, shoot me a text. Pick up the phone, we'll chat. I like you. We'll get you there. But awards that evening, okay? People from the office coming in so we can all get together because this thing only works when we're all together. And you're doing a great job out there. You're doing a great job in here. So I think it's worthy to celebrate that. Two new items we have, same kind of item, large and small, the Splash Hog urinal screens. We do have urinal screens in the line. But the difference with these are, if you notice, they're kind of big and long, okay? Now, the small one typically is for your lower flow urinals because they're a little smaller. But any urinal that's small enough for this to make sense. Or for your large urinals, it simply sits in, okay? Suction cups, stick it to the back of the urinal. And you have melon fresh, mango. Makes you feel like you're at a tiki bar in the summer. But the idea here is the difference is the reason they're long is this is a splash guard. So scientists have been working on years trying to figure out where is that spot men aim that causes splashback on them, on the floor, on the surrounding area. This eliminates that, so it makes it much more hygienic. It's easy to install. So not something you talk about all the time, but something you can talk about this March, and unique, your competition isn't going to bring this out. So you're talking about urinals. While you're there, we can talk about urinal repair parts, chemicals for the urinals, whatever you want to do. But show these items because they work, they eliminate splash, and all guys like that, okay? And so does housekeeping. So these are the two fragrances we're carrying. There's others. You can look those up. Maybe we'll get them out to you, but let's go with these two at first. 60 days. They're supposed to last 60 days, and we're told they do, so why not? That's a good duration. and you don't have those blocks that kind of chunk out or dry up and start to clog into the drain. Plus, okay, there's an enzymatic drain cleaner, so this is going to reduce buildup in the drain. So it's released when they're used. Okay, so these are good items to show you. Got something to talk about. Our other new item this month is the Crescent brand 8-inch adjustable flex wrench. What makes it a flex wrench is this little lock here that when you release it, okay, you can go 90 degrees on this, which is really awesome to get there. Any angle you need, okay, you can use this on. So it's going to go to 1 1/8 inch. Okay, there's 12 different locking positions. Of course, you got your gauge and your grid here, but the ratcheting effect is kind of neat on this because, let's just say we're tightening up this valve here. You tighten, okay, and what it does is it just releases slightly so that you can follow the nut around and keep tightening without having to come off. And you know how crescent wrenches, they kind of separate, so every time you got to go a little wide and then lock it on again. You don't have to do it with this. You're just going to turn and it's going to follow and track through there. So that's the ratcheting action this way, or turn the wrench over, and of course you're doing it the other way. So the great thing is you can get into tight areas. Let's just say you had a closet bolt and your customer's going to have closet bolts. It's down close, it's in tight. You can adjust the angle so that they can get, whoa, you got to remember to lock it. So they can get right down on there, close, okay, and not have their knuckles hitting the side of the flange here, whatever it is. Even if it's just a good old bolt, wherever it is, you can see it's going to be easier to make that kind of repair. So valves, nuts, bolts, and don't forget when you're showing this, talk about nuts and bolts. We have the gauge, which we'll show in a second, but in section 6, a lot of hardware. In section 2, a lot of assortments for those hardware. So there's a number of ways that you can help the customer by supplying those products, but this is not a gimmick. This is a real solution. It makes work quicker, it makes it safer, we're not busting knuckles, and we're not stripping out nuts because of that ratcheting effect that allows it, okay, to track forward or backwards around the nut. So we got a lot of great tools. I guarantee you show this one, this is the first line on the order. Well, an item we've had for many moons, many years is Liquid Lime Solve. It's professional grade, heavy duty. Read the SDS sheets, use caution, read the bottle, folks, read dilution rates and all that good stuff. But it's hydrochloric acid. The main thing we sell these for is, it does, as you can see on the little there, it dissolves urinary salt. So we use a lot of these in urinals, okay? But there's other applications for it, condensers, toilets, the coils, heat exchangers, number of applications for it, but it is perfect for urinals, getting rid of those salts, because that's what's building up in the line, and a pipe that's this big over the time without being treated becomes smaller and smaller, and that makes it tough to move waste out. Put a new urinal on top of that used to flush 1.5 GPF and now it does a quart or a pint. There's issues getting stuff to move along, so this would be the type of thing they'd want to flush through the system, do a good clean out job, so that's what this is for. So other applications, but please read the bottle. Comes in cases, which means other than a customized assortment, I've been preaching this for a long time, there are few things you can sell that you can make as much earnings as a one-line case of chemicals. So there's money out there in this, and it's stuff that they use. It's not a gimmick. It's been around for a million years. It's from utility. They, of course, will be at our sales meeting again this year, so you can ask more information about this and other chemicals, because our friend Audie will be there doing a good job. And while I got you here, okay, we're going to release, okay, it's going to be in our top chemical flyer, Friction Fixer. Okay, so Friction Fixer, it's odorless. It's basically a silicone lubricant. I'm not going to try to pronounce the actual name of it, but it's tetra, but it's good. We've tried it. It's odorless. Okay, it's easy to spray. It doesn't glop or anything. So show this to the customers, give it a try, because it's also going to be part of this promotion that's going on right now. Now, let me read to you exactly what's happening with this promotion, because it's a little different and it's really for you. It's not so much for the customer. The chemical itself is prized enough for the customer and it works well. So during the months of March and April, you will be competing against yourselves to improve on sales from 2019. What we're going to do is take a look at your sales with our chemicals, utilities chemicals last year, and have some individual goals for all of you. Okay, so these goals are going to be based on sales dollars. Each will have 2 sales goals to meet by the end of the promotion. Reach 1 goal and receive the lesser purse, reach goal 2 and receive the maximum award. More to go on that. Marketing, though, will be getting in touch with you, okay, individually to let you know what your 2 goals are for the month. And each week they'll notify you of your progress. So kind of have a partner in here helping you get along, win the first tier, but then move on to win that second tier prize. So we got the promotion. You have Audie there. So many of these chemicals pertain to what he does. Ask questions because of this stuff out here. These are our top 10 chemicals, okay? And you have this flyer. If you're not selling these, okay, I can't think of anything on here that doesn't come from utility. Ask the question. That's what the vendor's there for, so you can help sell this stuff. And again, one line can earn you 30, 40, 50 bucks. I mean, and we know it's priced right. We know it's priced right. You don't have to mess around with price. So trade is not an issue. Some people go with list on some of these items, but you can talk about that in your group too. So this next promotion, want to see if you push it out there. The stuff is for real. You're competing against yourself, make yourself better, okay, which is only making yourself more money. Okay, so there's a fine little quote on here, okay, by Matsona Diliweo, okay, and it says, to be a champion, compete. To be a great champion, compete with the best. But to be the greatest champion, compete with yourself. So, compete with yourself, show chemicals at every sales call. We got a ton of them out here, and it's just gonna make you money and help your customer. The other item we wanna feature is the Dual Check Backflow Preventer from Cash Acme, AKA Shark Bite. And so many of you do a great job selling Shark Bite fittings. This is a good way to get back and introduce that line. We make a lot of Shark Bite customized assortments. But the backflow preventer is important. Your customers know where they have to have them, and they have to have them, and it's code in certain parts of the building and all that good stuff. So if they want to install one and they don't use this, right, they're cutting pipe, they're sweating, they're soldering. Like all Shark Bite items, we know they just got to cut, snap, snap, done deal. Okay, so this here is the 3/4, but we have 1/2 inch. These can be used in a functional, okay, horizontally or vertically, so that's not an issue, or anything in between. Inside there, okay, you got rubber disc, the O-rings, it's a stainless steel spring in there, okay, and that has the poppet. That's what moves it when there's a drop in pressure and the water sucks back. We don't want that getting into the potable water system, right, because we don't know what else is coming through that line. So it's important your customers know where to use it. It is rated from 32 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's a million applications that they can put that in. And of course it tells you what direction to put it in so they don't install it wrong and then they get no water. So it's a Shark Bite product. Get to section 7. Also in section 7 are other backflow preventers. Okay, we have the end of the hose types, top of faucet types. Talk about whatever you want, but show this, show Shark Bite, make an assortment. A couple of these in there isn't a bad idea either. Plus they're repair coupling. So we've had it before, it moved very well. It's time to show it again. All right, getting back into some good plumbing items. We're bringing back the Flex Seal Toilet Gasket, sponge rubber, the green monster as they call it some places. This is probably the best non-wax gasket we have for a number of reasons. It can be used with a flange. You can take out the flange by folding it over. The other good thing about this is, here's your closet bolt, correct? Correct, Mal. When you put the flange in, the flange itself here holds the bolt in place. So it makes it easier to lower the bolt down and tighten it up. So that's a great feature. Also, if for some reason the inside of that bowl, okay, the foot on it is deep and this doesn't cover it, you can stack these and it'll compress down. So you can actually put one on top of the other. The weight of the bowl will seal it down. Also, if it seems a little high, don't worry about it. The weight of the bowl is going to be self-setting and sealing, and that's going to give you a better seal. It is reusable. There is no wax mess. So it's kind of a no-brainer. It's priced right, but all temperatures, you don't have to worry about the type of floor. Sometimes people worry in lower floors where the ground is cold that these non-wax gaskets crack out. This will not. So there's really no application. It can't be used. I would show it, I would sell it, I would get into section 5. I would talk about closet bolts. I would talk about whatever this bowl has on top of it, whether it's a tank or a flushometer, and get into those repair parts. I can show this. Maybe you have a closet bolt in your sample case, and you probably do, with the crescent wrench that we're showing this month as a new item. So really you can build a whole lot of stuff around this, but this we've had a while. This thing sells like crazy. If you haven't sold it, you haven't shown it, because when you show it, you'll sell it. From the old Did You Know Best Carries, and that's meant for your customers, the good old 1.5" tub drain removal tool. There's a lot of tub drain tools out there. We have a number of them. If they don't like this, we have other ones. But here's what's nice about this. Some of them, different tub drains have different crosshair configurations, or there's none. And you do that spud and you tighten it up, that spud wrench, okay? What's nice about this is that it's tapered and knurled, so that when you put that in there, okay, even when I just do that with my hand, okay, it'll start to remove the tub drain. Now, they got a big wrench and they want to come in here and do it, that's fine, but it will take a ratchet. So you got your 1/2" ratchet drive extension that you're going to put on here, and now it makes it a no-brainer. It's not going to slip. It's centered, okay, so it's going to put even torque all the way around to remove the tub drain. So if you have dormitories, hotels, smaller shower drains, this will fit. This will fit smaller bar drains, okay? If it's to 1.5 inches, they'll want to have this on hand. And of course, we can talk about tub drains after that. But this here is really one of the more useful tools that someone will pay for, because getting that drain out can be a drag. And to be able to put a ratchet in and say, if it's in a tub configuration, come up high, where you have a lot of clearance to take this out, this is a beauty. It works, it's for real. Sell tub parts, sell shower parts, sell stems, whatever you want while you're in that tub configuration. But another great first line on an order that's going to lead to other stuff that it's related to. So while you're showing the crescent wrench, during that part of the presentation, why not bring out our nut and bolt gauge? Okay, very simple. Everything is labeled here. It's amazingly easy to read and simple to use, okay? Is this a 5/16 bolt? No. Is it a 3/8 bolt? Yes, and I got no play on there. Is it a 7/16? Could be, but I can move it around. So it is a 3/8. How do I know it's 3/8? On the nut size. I take it and I go, oh, that move, it's not that one. Jesus, it's not that one. Oh, there it is, 3/8. So that's how simple this is. There's not a lot of explanation needed on this. On the back side, okay, you show your threads here also. So it's a handy little thing, easy for your customer to grasp. Goes well with the wrench that we're showing this month, our assortments that are in section 2 for nuts and bolts, all our nuts and bolts and hardware that are in section 6. So you might as well take it out of the bag, because someone's gonna buy it. So when I first started here years ago and worked the counter, say back in the 70s, we didn't really sell too many garden hoses. We sold some fill hoses and washing machine Y hoses. And the thought back then was most of these garden hoses are going to a garden. If you don't sell garden apartments or it's a homeowner item, what are we doing selling them? Well, the reality is we got smart, and as we got into more commercial property over the years, you well know that hoses are outside of every building, on loading docks and boiler rooms. You name it, they're out there. So one of the things we decided to do, if we're going to sell a hose, because you know you can go to the big boxes, or back in the day the hardware store, and they had 20 types of hoses, we might as well sell the hose with a lifetime guarantee, warranty, heavy duty, and it's the best one out there, and that's by Gilmore, their Flexigen hose. I put together a bunch of these hoses when I bought my house back in 1991. Okay, I still have my Gilmore hoses that I put on my house from 1991, and I'm not good to my hoses. I'm not good to them. I leave them out in the winter. So I will not lie, I've had a crack around an end, but I didn't feel like taking it off and exchanging it. I put a little magic wrap on it, but it wasn't critical. Point is, I still have the hose. I still use it since 1991. That's how good these are. Show them for the loading docks. Show them with vacuum breakers on the end of the nozzle. Get into wall hydrant parts, because that's where they're going on to. But garden hoses are not just for gardens. They're for everywhere. Your customer is using more hoses than you probably think. Show them the absolute best hose that's out there. You can run it over. I've run it over. I've run it over with the riding mower. I've run it over with cars, vans, trucks, you name it. Still got it. It's still perfect. Okay, every now and then we get a little wedgie. You know what I'm saying? But not like this little wedgie, folks. This is, you know, as you show this to a customer, one of those mysterious little things you can put in a customer's hand and ask them to tell you what you got here if they haven't seen it before. And really the purpose of this is to be able to grab a tarp, a sign, or whatever, okay, with having to pop grommets in it. Because we know when we're hanging stuff, especially using a tarp, the grommets are good, they're spaced out the way they should, but sometimes it just doesn't get it quite taut and stretched tight the way we want it. So as simple as I can demonstrate this is so good, it'll even grab a piece of paper. What you do is you pull back on this, it goes forward, okay, and it locks on even to the paper. So you can imagine, hey, let's do it right here. If we got a banner we gotta hang, we just shove that in there, and that is not coming off. There's caution signs people are putting up. At universities and schools, especially during major sporting events, they are hanging banners everywhere. Okay, this is what they want to have in the shop, because then they're not have to drill into things. You take a carabiner, you take some of the bungees from last month, put it through here. You have a system, they don't have to cut, worry about things ripping, shredding. It's honest to God, one of the most handy things they can keep in their shop when they have to put up banners, caution items, things like that. So the little wedgie, I promise you, please put it in someone's hand, ask them what this is, have a little fun with this, because you will sell them. And we sell tarps, and we sell bungees, and 100 other things to attach stuff. So start it off with this, but they'll find this very unique and interesting.
As always, thank you to everyone for your hard work in February, and let's keep up the great work this month.